Mer-Man. So why two of them? Well, there's a reason. One, I opened the old Mer-Man, and we already have a video on this channel talking about the other Mer-Man that we opened, and I was very much looking forward to the Revelation before the time skip Mer-Man. That's this one. I have the time skip Mer-Man, but this is one I definitely wanted because it has all the armor, and it's definitely before, and it looks kind of more to the idea of the original Mer-Man, and that was something I definitely wanted to see. That all being said, the cross-sell on the back here is Mer-Man, got him, Grizzlor, got him, Buzz-Off, don't, Faker, don't. That's okay. Then, while I was waiting and taking forever to do videos, and so we never actually got around to this Mer-Man came out. And since I'm opening this wave, which is currently Battle Armor Skeletor, which we've already talked about, Mer-Man, which we're getting to right now, Sorceress Teela, and then Man of War, this guy's up now, and it's time to look him over. I also am kind of glad, because this is new Eternia, and this is going to give us a chance to really compare the two and see the amount of detail and idea that's put in between the two Mermen. And that's kind of where I am with this. Let's open Mer-Man. Alright, so here we go. This is the Revelation before time skip Mer-Man. And if I have to give any quips right off the bat, I love it. Like, very obviously it can be better. I like these seaweed-like leaves. I think that's pretty cool. I like that this is all like coral armor. That really fits the aesthetic here. I like the metal pieces right here that are pretty cool. I like the hands. They went out of the way. This is very much just the standard body, though, which New Eternia goes out of its way to kind of update that, which we're going to talk about when we get there. We have the Corncob Coral Sword, which I really love that sword, actually. It's one of my favorite swords in the entire line because it really plays to the aesthetic of what this guy would be. He's an underwater merman, a fish type of person that lives underwater, and their culture would have adapted to use the materials they have, not the materials we have, or Eternia has, for what it's worth. And I really think that's absolutely fantastic. He does come with alternate hands. He has the webbed fish hand here. He has another grip hand. He has two punch hands. And that's him. Not too much to say here. I like this. These coral plated, it's like a coral holding together these gauntlet, I don't know, shin guard type of things. And the face otherwise is pretty much the same face that we got on the other Mer-Man, but really solid. It does exactly what I'm wanting it to do. This is very much a fish warrior man. I love him. I think he's absolutely fantastic. I think it works great for what this is. But I gotta give it to them. The new Eternia man, that's better. Like, he is the best Mer-Man I have seen. This guy got the straight up overhaul. First off, the face. The face is definitely a lot more fish-like, even giving him like the glass eyes that we see on the Mario movie characters that I really liked. All of this intricate detail here along the fins and whatnot that come off of the face is absolutely amazing. The teeth are great. He just very much looks like some sort of piranha fish. I really like that. There's a lot more detail in this armor. Like, this is very much coral with very sharp spikes that come out of the top and everything like that, where this is an actual crafted armor, which is more mechanical in nature, which I actually think is also very cool because you're talking about Eternia. And while I just got done talking about how Eternia, these people would have used the culture and the materials available to them, we also have to consider that Eternia is a place of barbarian techno-fantasy, which means that all the technology beyond the level of technology that we even understand exists, but they never moved to all-out guns and civilization in the way that we understood it. Eternia never evolved past the barbarian era. And so this makes a lot of sense that this is still very barbaric in its design, but still mechanical in terms of something had to have designed this that was more machine rather than what that looks like. It was almost grown. And I think that that's something, I think there's something to say about that that really fits the aesthetic here and really plays everything out very, very well. I like this a lot. And in so saying all of that, he also got a different body. I don't know how well you can actually see this, but as you could tell, there's something going on here. This is not the same body that we just got done seeing. In fact, let me just go ahead, and normally I don't like to pop these armors off, but we're going to go ahead and do it because I have a little fear that I won't get them back on. Let me pop the head here. There we go. Pull the armor. And as you can see, this top part here is a new sculpt for the bodies. So this is very much a Fishman type body now, instead of just the standard body put, you know, with the aesthetic of an armor to make him be a Fishman, which is going that little bit of extra mile to really put everything together and make him what he is. And I really like that. I like that attention to detail, and it makes me like him that little bit more, even over the other ones that we've already seen. So, with all that being said, let's check out his weapons, because the weapons sometimes make the man. And in sticking with that concept, this coral sword this time also has a technological edge. This is very much something that is quote-unquote man-crafted or fish-man-crafted in some sort of actual blacksmith type of thing. And I also like this because this will allow us to put it on his back, which is actually really good for us. So I like this along with the coral design, and I like this jagged edge idea right here, where this is the part of the sword that he is specifically attacking with, as opposed to the double-edged kind of sword that he had going on back there. But what I really like that stands out for this guy is this. That's a unique and brutal weapon. This right here is very much a crafted blacksmith-esque material right here, which is very, very well done. It's very technological, within a tie, which is probably some sort of seaweed or such that comes off the ocean floor. And then this is this very coral spike here, the part of the end of the spear, which I like a lot because it really signifies exactly what I was talking about. This does not, however, have a holding place, so in order to display and get the most out of him, we're going to put the sword on his back like so, and he would be able to reach back there and grab it if he needed it. But as he comes up out of the water, first and foremost, when you see this man, I personally feel like he should come out of the water and he should hold this spear, and then it should go from there. So that's the way I feel. I feel I really like him with the spear. And then the sword is, if he throws the spear or if he fights you at a distance and he misses and he has to get up on you, then he pulls the sword off of his back. And I would also imagine that being a creature from the sea, he already is physically stronger than we are anyway. I would just imagine that that is an absolute truth for him, because if he can survive the pressures of the ocean, just like Aquaman would have to be nigh indestructible, his skin is probably already massively resilient anyway and things of that nature. He would be tougher than us in general, you would imagine. Arguable, because some sea life very much No matter how low it goes into the sea, we could still stab it with a knife and kill it. But you get where my argument is coming from. I feel like there is some argument to be had there in terms of he would be tougher, maybe physically, as opposed to how we are. He's probably stronger than us. Maybe not so much that his skin is more resistant than ours. Arguable. And there we have an excuse for a simple twofer that gets 2 of these fishmen off the shelf, opened, and put onto the shelf. Don't worry about how I phrase things, okay? But I like them. I like them a lot. And I really think their aesthetic works absolutely fantastic. I think that if you take the 3 fishmen that already exist, put them together, and kind of... I think that you could use these guys in a photography setting where you kind of pit them against like a Conan the Barbarian or Red Sonja of sorts. Not that you wouldn't, of course, do that with the other barbarian characters that already exist. But I think that each one of these guys is unique enough that it wouldn't look like the same character in 3 different outfits. You get what I'm saying? So I really believe that you could pull off with 3 separate figures that you bought for 3 separate reasons that had 3 separate values. You didn't double dip at all. And that's something I gotta continue to praise about Masterverse. And I'm gonna keep doing it. Masterverse continues to feel like every single product they put out is worth the buy and has its own soul. I love that about Masterverse. I can't praise it enough for constantly feeling unique all the time. That's hard to do. Absolutely hard to do, as we have seen in many toy lines that do massive reuse, and this is no different. Massive toy lines that do massive reuse, oftentimes we fall into a pit where we have to go, and this is a repaint. Here's blue He-Man, right? Here's a different ninja. Things of that nature. This happens a lot with reuse lines, but I gotta hand it to Masterverse. It is shocking how much I know there is massive reuse, and yet the reuse is used in a way where they change just the right pieces at just the right time and stagger the line just enough that everything feels unique. All 3 of these fishmen standing next to each other, all 3 look like their own character. And because of that, I now have 3 fishmen that can come up out of the water and fight barbarians in barbarian photography. Excellent. I'm sold. I'm sold. I guess I would say take my money, but they've very blatantly already got it. Anyways, I love it. It's fantastic. I'm going to get out of here. I've added Mer-Man, Revelation before the time skip, and New Eternia to the shelf, and they were both worth the price tag later on.
I have spoken. Take what you will from it.